It's funny because a lot of people talk about monetizing their passion, but then when it comes to actually implementing it, they're left with nothing to do. So in this video, we're actually going to break down exactly how to monetize your passion with steps that you can take right now today to get the ball rolling on this. But before we dive into it, you guys know the drill. We've got the show reel. So let's hit it. Okay, so to truly monetize your passion, there are 5 key steps that you need to start taking. The first one is actually quite simple. Make sure to write this down. This is identify. Identify what your passion actually is. If you're anything like me, a creative, you've probably got a bazillion passions and you want to do millions of different things and help thousands of different people, but that's scattered focus. And with scattered focus tends to come scattered results. What you want to do is streamline focus on one thing. So for some people, and I know when I went through this process, it might be quite hard to narrow it down. But what I want to put to you is this question here, is to think about what is that one thing, because you might have tons of passions, but what is that one thing that you could do all day, every day, and it would never feel like work? What is that one thing? If you really, truly, deeply think about that, the answer will start to come. You might start to maybe narrow it down to 3 things or 2 things, but with time, you'll start to narrow it down to 1. If you're really struggling to pick that one thing, at least narrow it down to 3 things that you're passionate about. Give yourself that target, 3 things, then 2 things, and then 1 thing. What you can always do as well is start with those 3, but no more than that, because again, it comes back to that scattered focus, scattered result, and that isn't what we want for you. Now, once you've started to identify your passion, the second thing that you want to be doing is creating content. You want to be creating content on different platforms. Now, the platform that's right for you, this will probably depend on what you're passionate about. What you want to do is figure out, where are your people? Where are they hanging out? Like if you're into music and different things like that, then maybe right now, TikTok is your place. There's a lot of people going viral, doing covers and putting their own music on there, and they're building their biggest audiences on TikTok. Maybe your platform is going to be Instagram, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's YouTube. What you want to do though is identify, where do your people that share your passion, where do they hang out? Go and find them and go and create content that will help them. Once you're starting creating that content, the third thing that you want to do is you want to be consistent with it. So if you post today and then you don't post for a year, that's not going to allow you to build a relationship with your audience, because they need to be able to see you consistently, because people buy from people that they know, they like, and they trust. And the only way to build that relationship with people is to be there, and is to be there consistently. So the third thing you want to do when you've started creating your content is you want to be there consistently and show up every single day. What this will start to do, as we've touched on, is it will start to create a value bubble. It'll start to allow people to really get to know you, to trust you, to relate to you. And if you just provide nothing but value, you don't ask for anything in return from your audience, but you just keep showing up. You might not be the most knowledgeable in your field of in your passion. You might not be even the best, but if you're the most passionate, that is the most important thing, because that will shine through. If you speak from here and you are just so in your, what I would call your zone of genius, that will show through and people will relate to that. It will allow them to build that relationship with you, creating that value bubble. Now, if you imagine that you've got this value bubble, it's like a big bubble, right? A big value bubble here. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing. What do you do once that becomes big enough? And the question you might be thinking is, well, how big is big enough? As big as it can be, right? You want to imagine that every time you post, the bubble gets a little bit bigger, and then you post again and the bubble gets a little bit bigger. Your following grows, your engagement grows, your audience grows, the relationship with it grows. As soon as that is as big as it can be, and you haven't asked for anything in return in this whole process of building that audience, of building that relationship, building that value with them, then the fourth thing you want to do is finally make an offer. And this is where the monetization process comes in. But how do you make an offer? It's a very good question. You want to do it in such a way where it solves a problem. Now, if you're playing in the space of what you're passionate about, you will know the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis in that area. Like for me, I used to be a wedding musician. I would tour all over Europe and sing at weddings and events all around the world. It was incredible. But I know a lot of the problems that musicians face when they're in their zone of genius, when they're in their passion. So if I could find a product, or maybe even make my own product or service that solves a problem for these people, and I just share with them, do you know what, I know a lot of people struggle with this, but I found this product or this service here and it really helped me with that, then I'm just making a very genuine, very heartfelt, very true, compassionate offer that solves a problem that I know that they have. That is the easiest way, the most heartfelt, honest way to monetize your passion. So whether it's your own product, maybe you've got something that you've invented or created or something that you can deliver upon yourself, or maybe you go and become what we call an affiliate for other people's products. Maybe there's a particular tool or software or something that you use that you can recommend because you use it yourself and you know how helpful it is. That's what we call affiliate marketing, where they'll pay you a commission for recommending it. Whichever one of the two you want to do, that is how you make your offer. Make sure to write this down in your notes. You do it by solving a problem, okay? Now, when you start to make that offer, you don't want to make it every day, right? You don't want to just be, you've built value for, say, I don't know, 6 months with your audience. You haven't asked them for anything. And then if all you do is ask, you're just drying the well up. You need to fill the well. So this is why the fifth and final step is that you want to rinse and repeat this whole process, okay? The whole process from start to finish. You want to go back to creating content on a daily basis that just adds value. You want to be consistent with that process, and then again, when you're ready, you can make another offer. Gary Vee talks about this all the time. He has a process called jab, 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 right hook, where what he's talking about is adding value, and then making that offer. So if you're not sure how to structure your content, use that model. If it works for Gary Vee, I'm sure it will work for you too. And we use it and we can't highly recommend it enough. So these are the 5 steps. You want to identify your passion. You want to create consistent content around it. You want to be consistent. That's the 3rd step, okay? The 4th step is you want to solve that problem for people. And then finally, you want to rinse and repeat the process to your heart's content. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, leave a comment below and let us know what you'll be implementing. Maybe let us know what your passion is. And then maybe we can make more videos on that in the future for you to help you further monetize your passion, to help your tribe, to increase your income and your impact. And finally, if you haven't already, do make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon next to it as well, so you don't miss any future videos. And until next time, stay blessed.